Hey there, we are live. So welcome to Pillar 5 of really learning the art of selling and mastering the art of selling, knowing that you can step in your realm and you can do this thing here, what you are called to do here in your business each and every day. So let me start sharing our screen here so we can get started today. Excited to be working with you and helping you. And so day 4 is all about synchronization. All right, so this is going to be the pillar that we make sure we are in sync with our clients or customers. And as I shared before, I'm a legacy building strategist here to help you and to guide you so that you can make more impact, more money in your bank account, and more freedom, time, money, freedom that you're calling for yourselves. So for the last 4 days, we have been going in very deeply into these 5 pillars. Pillars of something that I've created here from sales and marketing, just the years that I've been an online marketer. I decided just to kind of create my own little vibe of what I feel is needed to master this art of selling. And I've come up with these 5 pillars. And it's basically correlates with dancing, as you heard from the very first intro video that I've introduced here to get you to see this concepts to help you be at more ease with selling. So the first day we talked about connection or contact. Basically, it can be either or, but it's to be in connection with you and with your clients, because the more you're connected with yourself, the more clear you'll be with your people so that you can offer them what they need. Rhythm, it's all about your sales process. It's really figuring out what is your actual flow in your business. You have to know your own unique way. This is all about also too setting up your unique selling proposition so that you truly know the problem that you're solving with your ideal client. Pace is your specific strategy of timing, mainly the timing of when you'll actually promote your product or service within this time scope of the year, or the timing of the day that you will promote your services and such. Because if you know your ideal client, if there's someone that's working or not working, you'll know that there's strategic times to put that post out there so that they'll be crystal clear to see it and to know the availability. And now today we're going to be talking about synchronization. And synchronization is being in tune, being one with your client or your customer so that you can foresee some things as far as objections, words not to use, price points, all these things. So we'll be talking about that today. And then on tomorrow is all about chemistry, being, being able to actually deny people of your products or your services. Even if they're throwing money at you, knowing when to pull back or when to give them another product or service within your diversity, which we're going to talk about that today, of available products or services. So knowing when to shift your person to something else in your programs, or saying, hey, I don't think you're a good fit for my program in its entirety, any of my programs. And then as you see, the foundation is mindset. Mindset is everything. I always preach and speak about mindset because I've seen that it has overhauled my life, changed me, and allowed me to grow and catapult my impact, my bank account, and freedom because of the shifts I made just in this little nugget that I have here in between my ears. So let's get started with this whole synchronization topic today. And it's all about right here is handling objections. Now, this will be a little bit more geared to my service providers because I know that our products, that when you're offering them, you may not always have a clear objection. There may be someone that's going to your website, clicking on a link, looking at the product, but there are ways that you can track through your websites and trying to figure out if you can really hone in and get some type of tracking mechanism so that you can see people clicking. Or if you see someone, this is back to my product people, if you see someone clicking on your ads on Facebook or any type of other platform, you see their name, inbox them, talk to them, say, hey, I saw that you like my product. What do you think about it? Try to find a way to have a conversation with an individual when it comes to the products. Now, services, we know that that's a slam dunk. You're going to have some type of interaction with them prior to them booking your service. They're going to reach out to you. They're going to ask questions and all those things. But at least that was a little tidbit for my product people, that there are ways for you to create a conversation so that you can follow some of these steps as well. And the first thing is listening to the objection before moving forward. So if you hear anything that they're like, there's some resistance, there's some frustrations, there's some hesitations, pause. Don't keep trying to sell to them. Figure out what the heck is going on in their head. Have an open-ended conversation saying, hey, I sense some reservations here. What's on your mind? Just leave it like that. Don't try to force anything at that point when you feel that tension or you feel them churning, or if you're having a face-to-face conversation or some type of FaceTime or video conferencing. You see their body language is kind of not speaking to excitement and ready to book right now. That's all about the sales psychology. You got to be in their head at every given moment. So one of the things obviously that always comes up, most service providers will hear, I don't have the money. I can't afford your program, or whatever, something along those lines. So at that moment, it's time for you to help them see the non-tangible value of your product or your service and help them understand, what made you like it in the first place, or what made you even book this call with me to talk about it? What, if you didn't do this program or didn't purchase this product, where would your life be at next year? Or how do you see the next year for yourself without this mechanism to get you towards that transformation that you're looking for? Probe them a little bit more to help them think outside the terms of money and help them see value, benefits. Just kind of try to reel them back in somehow with your conversation, okay? Now that takes a lot of inner confidence. That takes a lot of like really strategizing, just kind of getting to know them. But that all works from the front end. So if you've already gotten to know your people, you know what their hesitations are going to be. You know what their pain points are. You can bring those back up in that conversation, and it will be so easy to close the deal at that moment because they'll start seeing it for themselves. Like, man, you're right. I really need this time freedom. I really need this legacy to build for me. I don't want to keep going in circles in my business and being confused, or, man, I don't want to keep not losing that weight that I keep dying to want to lose, and looking at myself in this mirror and seeing this person. I don't want to see that person next year again. I don't want to do that. These are some things that could be running through their mind to make them and see your value of your product or your service. All right. Now, of course, as you are doing this here and as you're going through this whole mechanism of allowing them to see the value, kind of repeat things back to your prospect, kind of repeat things back. Make sure they hear you. Make sure, and what they say to you, regurgitate it. Like, say it back to them so they can hear it. But sometimes when we hear our own words out loud, it's like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. Why would I say that? Why would I even think that? All right. So as you're saying it back, then that's when you can start exploring the reasoning with them, getting a little bit of understanding of their background and figuring out why, this is such a objection for them. And then you can answer the objection by giving them a solution, giving them a solution. I just spoke to someone yesterday about one of my programs I have out right now, a 4-month mastermind. And she was really concerned about time. She was really concerned about, man, I'm already involved with things that she's still working, trying to build her legacy and her time freedom. She knows that I'm all about putting some work in because she put a lot of work in during the challenge that we had, a 5-day sell experience. And she was like, man, Erica, I want to be part of your program, but I don't want to be so absorbed in time that I'm like 5-10 hours a week in your program, and then I don't even have time to sell my products or my services. I said, oh, boo, I got you. I'm doing all my modules, verbally, so that you can listen to them while you're driving, while you're, multitasking at work, or, cleaning the house, doing whatever you need to do. So that's really just the module piece. The learning mechanism is just listening. Right. And then the application will be during our weekly calls as a group. And so that's when you can actually practice your skills. So there's no like homework, writing dissertations and writing papers. It's more so listening and then applying it with your fellow queens in the mastermind. And she's like, oh, well, that's different then. I thought you were going, that you want me to do this and do that. And so she booked immediately after we went through answering the objection, really checking it, checking back with her, figuring out exactly what she needed and going from there. So just know that it's very effective. I've seen it work time in and out, just every time. And you just got to be confident. You got to know your stuff. You got to know your people. Okay. And then if they do need to follow up, so let's just say they need to speak with their significant other or spouse. I'm all about respecting the spouses, okay? Because I have a wonderful, awesome husband that I do reach out to and get his permission, his blessing prior to investing. I do. And so, yes, I don't spend money in my business nor in my personal life without really getting some feedback from him. Yes, and I won't even say permission per se. It's more so I want him to be aware and I want him to know why I want to do this. And if that's the case, then he knows that he wants what's best for me. Even if he don't fully agree with or understand it, he more so knows that I'm doing it. So I like to always reach out to him too prior to any investments. And so, yeah, so that would be your opportunity to check back, making sure you get a commitment to a follow-up. Don't allow them to get off the phone with you or get off of Facebook Messenger or emailing without committing another follow-up time. Please follow up with your people. Do not follow up. Do not follow up. And then redirect the conversation if you need to, bring it back in, show them that it's not about just selling right now, that, you are anxious and happy and ready to serve them and you want to see them do X, Y, Z. Just kind of bring it back into the flow, of somehow of a conversation towards, the values, the non-tangible items. And even if you gotten to know again at that point, I don't want you to take it personal, okay? Sometimes some people are just truly not ready. And I want you to know, though, as a sales marketer, as a guru of marketing, there's going to be times when everyone won't say yes, but they may be later, okay? So don't ruin a relationship with people because you never know when they will come back. They'll keep watching you. They'll see the results from people, from other things that they other people that invested in your programs or in your products, and then they're going to come back and be like, man, this time I'm going to invest. I'm going to do it this time. I'm ready. But that's because you've been building that relationship, okay? So it's nothing that you're doing wrong. It's, but just make sure if you're following these, you're definitely not going wrong. You're doing the right thing and you're in the right direction, and just keep moving forward. And then I want you to make sure you're showing up every single day. Sell yourself. If you know that your product is here as a change agent to transform lives, to add more money to someone, to help them save money, to help them be better, look better, feel better, whatever your piece that you're selling, whether it is a product or a service, you are here to sell yourself. You are the product. You are the brand. Okay. So you got to remember that people are buying from you. They're not just buying your product or your service. So you have to make sure you are always presentable. Don't be afraid to post every single day, something, either content or offer, and rotate it. Make sure that you are not always just posting offers and services, making sure you're having conversations with your people, bringing them into a tribe, an email list, or a Facebook group so that you can have conversations with them outside of just selling to them. But every day you're selling to them. Even if it's free content, you're selling that to them. Okay. So keep that in mind. And even if you have a product, sell content with your product. Your product should not just go on a standalone. It should be something that you are teaching them. People want to be taught. People love DIY. They love learning new stuff, expanding themselves, personal development. Find a way how your product can merge into something like that. Even if you're selling lipstick, teach them about the colors that you should use in the summer versus the fall. Teach them what should go with certain dynamics of outfits. A certain pop of color should go with, if you want to look eccentric and you're going out, partying at night with your girls. Or if it's another tone of color for a business meeting or something like that. There's always something to teach someone. All because you're selling a product doesn't mean you can't teach them anything about your product. So stand out there every day and do that, and get over the fact that others will think you are selling, because wake up call, you are selling. You are selling. You are a true marketer. Okay. Embrace it, embody it, take it in. You're selling yourself. You're selling a beautiful product or a transformational service. Okay. So just know that that's what you're doing. Take it in, be who you need to be so that you can truly move forward and catapult your impact in your bank account. And then follow up as much as you need to with prospect. There is no limit to it, okay? I would never be the expert to tell you that you need to only follow up people 3 times. There's times I had to follow up 5 times, sometimes 10 times, okay? And it's all about being in sync with your ideal, your prospect, about how much you should go with that. There's times when I only follow up 1 or 2 times. I'm like, yeah, I think they're done. Leave them alone. Don't bother them too much. But then if someone leaves like a cracked open door somehow, someone you feel like, okay, well, they say, well, I'll get back to you, or let me think about it, or, I like it, but, something like that. That's a door open. I'm sorry. That's a door open where, hey, now if it's like flat out, I cannot do this. Not at this time. I can't do it at all. No more. All right. You may can probe a little bit about it to see, what's the objection, if it is. But if they're like not, giving you any more information, they're not hearing you out, don't keep pressing it, because now that is being very salesy, very pushy, very arrogant, and such. You have to still be in tune with your people and know when it's time to cut the cord and say, I'm gonna leave you alone right now. You're not open to this. And that is okay. I've had many of those in my sales opportunities, just even recently with my launch of a mastermind program. Yeah, there was moments where I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna leave that person alone after that. And then there were some doors that opened. So I came back and asked them more questions, and they answered my questions, and we kept talking, and then one of them did book. So, you never know how often you need to follow up with people. So don't be afraid to do it. Believe in yourself. Know that you have the power within. You know your product left and right, up and down, side to side, and you know that this is meant for them. This is going to change them. And you don't have to make them see it. You just have to help them see the value of it. That's all. Just help them see the value and the benefits of it. And then this is the piece where, as you're synchronizing yourself with your clients and your prospects, make sure you are determining a good price point for those people. So you already know your people at this point by now. Hopefully you've done the homework, you've written out some stuff, you've really gotten an understanding of who they are, what they're looking for. Now it's for you to understand, based on the certain income levels that they have, disposable income. There's certain things that, there's certain levels of programs and products and services that should be offered to certain caliber of people, okay? There's been times when I've done low ticket items, low ticket, and low ticket, there's no like certain number for it, but I would say something that's probably under, $1,000. Let's just go with something like that. If you wanted to put like a threshold to it, something that's under $1,000 is kind of like a low ticket item. And you have to know who can afford those things and who that's easy for. If it's something $47 to $97, most of those times it should be a no-brainer for your people, depending on who they are. But if you're selling something that's $5,000, $10,000, these are obviously, I'm talking to my service people right now, then you got to know who you're talking to, okay? You got to know who they are and making sure that is something that's within their range, okay? I mean, of course, I'm a manifesting queen diva over here, so I would say everybody can manifest anything and everything. But there are some reality of this with people in the caliber of their line of work that they have. There's some people that's making $20,000, $30,000, and there's some people that's making $70,000 to $100,000. So you got to know who you're talking to, because the people that's probably making the $70,000 to $100,000 have a little bit more disposable income than someone that's really like can barely buy their food, can barely pay for their rent, these things. So that's a whole nother piece. That's a bracket of people that you got to know who you're speaking to with the product or with the service. But despite of where you're at and who you are, you can manifest whatever you want in your life. But I'm just giving you the whole reality of it so that you can still understand it from the realist piece of this whole situation, that at the end of the day, a paycheck is a paycheck, and some people are not ready to manifest. Some people are not open to manifest and take themselves to the next level, and you have to know who you're speaking to at those given times. And then I want you to make sure that you are providing a diversity lineup of products and services. Don't just have everything as free. I have freebies. I have things from, $47 to $297. And then I have things that's over, $1,500. And then I have my VIP one-on-one at $5,000. So there's things that I have as levels that can meet most of my queens at some point. And some people like to taste your stuff. They don't want to just hit you with the $5,000, you know, pay in full for a 90-day VIP program, one-on-one program. Some people really want to come in with you at a $47, just kind of get a taste and understand what you're offering. Is this something helpful? But sometimes you can even using a freebie get people's attention. My 5-day sell experience got a lot of women attention that did book with me for a 4-month mastermind program. Okay, so that means you don't have to start free. You can start at a pay. You can start where you feel. That's going back to your rhythm. Remember when we were talking about on pillar 2 about finding your own unique flow. You know, your own, you know, your flow and your sales process. Everyone has one. And then I want you to honestly always think about knowing your worth. Think about every class you've taken. Think about every degree you've obtained. Think about every program you've invested in. Think about all the sweat, tears, and frustrations and time that you spent on developing content and programs and putting things out there around your products. Keep yourself in mind when you're setting your price point too. Everything's not just about who can afford what. It's about, is this something that is congruent to my lifestyle that I really want? Okay. And what I'm getting to on that is that there's been times I've had group programs where they were about, you know, like a 7-8 week program for about $300, $200. And I noticed there was a different caliber of people in those groups versus when I charge quadruple the price for the same duration, for the same program. And, you know, and it was a big difference of commitment. It was a difference of the tenacity from my people in the group. It was a difference of the energy. It was such a different thing. And so it woke me up when saying, Erica, stop selling yourself short. Don't charge those little baby prices. Sometimes you want to charge your people something that makes them stand on their tippy toes a little bit, that makes them a little uncomfortable to swipe the card for that, because that's going to make them be engaged with you. And I'm talking to my service people right now. These are going to be your people that is going to be full in with your program that you have, so that you don't feel like you're like dragging your feet trying to make them do stuff and make them focus and be in tune, because that investment that they're giving you every month, or that investment that they already given you for the program, that's going to drive them every day to put all in, put their rear end to show up every day so that they can get their value back, or get their return on investment back for what they have given to you in this program. So know your value and don't sell yourself short. You don't have to sell yourself short, Queen. You can charge your worth. You can charge more than you think. Because when I was able to charge a program, one time I was able to charge a program the same price that I charged for a one-on-one private client. That right there made me put my shoulders back a little bit, because I was like, I'm charging the same price that I have in my past for something that I have charged for a one-on-one 90-day private VIP client for a group program. That's when you know you have elevated. That's when you know you have evolved. And Queen, I want you to know that you are royalty, and you do not have to be a slave to your clients or to your customers by charging very small prices that can barely even feed your family or pay your bills that you need to, because you are not in business to do that. You are not in business to rob Peter and to pay Paul. Okay. You are in business to elevate. You are in business to build a legacy. You are in business to have time and money freedom, and you do not have to sell yourself short to get to that destination. Okay. So I'm just giving you a little tidbit right there that can possibly help you set your price points in action for you and your business. Now, let's talk about some words that I want you to try to avoid when you're in the process of offering your products or your services or anything like that in a sales call or even on social media. And some of these words are not to use is cost and price. Okay. Cost and price, people don't want to hear cost and price. It makes them cringe. It makes them feel like, oh, I got to give you this money. Think about it in terms of spinning around a little bit and tell them your total investment, your investment. Because now it's like a reframe for them. It's like, oh, well, yeah, I am investing in myself. I am, and it makes them feel different about the exchange of money between you and them. Down payment, instead of saying down payment, because now they're like, oh my God, I got to put this down payment on. It's like making them think back to some old stories at the car dealership. And it makes people cringe a little bit. Your initial investment. Okay. That's, when you do a payment plan, here's your initial investment. Okay. Let them know about that. monthly investment. Do the same thing for the monthly, investing opportunities. We know that there are monthly payments, but just tell them monthly investment. So it just puts some ease to them. Also, for my service providers, I know you have contracts out there and such. Make sure you say agreement, not contract. Agreement, not contract. Contract makes you feel like you're bound by something that you're forever can't never come out of, and you're gonna be like, oh my God. People think of lawsuits when they hear contracts. They think of all these negative emotions when that word comes up. Give them agreement. It's just, hey, I'm just here to have an agreement. You're not buying something, you're going to own it. If this is your product that you're selling out there, hey, I just want you to see if you want to own this product here, right now. You want to take ownership of this. This is yours to keep. And give them something that's involved or acquired versus selling them or sold. Like saying, don't say I sold you or sold you, but I got you involved. You occupied this. This is yours. You're part of this. And it makes someone feel a little different than being sold or sold to. And instead of using the word deal, opportunity. Okay. Like, don't say, here's my deal of the day. Here's my, no-brainer cost deal today. Here's a no-brainer opportunity for you today. It's a big difference. It's a different vibe when you hear that from someone. And then lastly, if you need someone to sign something, like the contracts or anything like that, just say, can I get your okay, approval, your authorization, Get your okay. I always say, can I just get your okay? You're going to okay this here. That'd be great. Don't use the word sign, because people really feel like they're signing over their life. They feel like they're like, oh my God, it was my blood is in this, paper. And they may have that buyer's remorse right at that moment. And they'd be like, well, can I just get a refund? Because I don't feel comfortable about this program anymore. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind that these are words that I want you to try to avoid as much as you can, so that it can elevate your sales and making sure that your people get all the way down to closure, and so that you can help them transform or provide them the product or service that you wanting to give to them at that time. So that is all that I have for you today. And I truly thank you for tuning in and watching. And just so make sure that you are a part of our Facebook group. There's a lot of us queens over there, Tenacious Queens Unite. Come and join us. Every day I'm posting. There's some type of inspiration, a lot of manifestation mindset shifts. And then also I throw in and drip in a lot of the sales tactics, mindsets around that. So just, jump in there, share, introduce yourself, connect with people, because you never know. That could be a place where your next client or customer is in that arena, in that space. And we have such a beautiful sorority and binding with one another. So come and be a part of us. But I thank you so much again for tuning in. So definitely stay tuned for Pillar 5 of this 5-part series, so that you can master the art of selling. Thank you so much and have a great day.